It's St. Patrick's Day. We celebrate our pub wisdom today. Isn't he supposed to be green? I thought there was a green version of him. Hello everybody, Sparks1701 here. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of my viewers. Make sure you go easy on that green beer today. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Dinobot from the Power of the Primes line. This is Slug. Now, of course, if you were a G1 fan back in the day, you would remember that his name is Slug. But unfortunately, since that word has some rather negative connotations to it, Hasbro decided to change it. Even though in some cases people thinking slug would also mean to either punch somebody in the face, or they're thinking of a bullet. So I don't know how going from slag to slug is any better, but this is Hasbro. We'll assume they know what they're talking about. Now, Larry's reference in the earlier bit in the video was referring to the Generation 2 version of Slag, where he was released in a green color. The Generation 2 era was kind of strange with some of the colors. We'll just go with that. But at any rate, Slug is the flamethrower of the Dinobots. So originally, he was the only one that was intended to breathe fire from his mouth. However, for some reason, the animators at Sunbow decided all the Dinobots should breathe fire. So it kind of reduced Slug's role and prominence a bit. But of course, Slug's also known for not being as smart as a lot of the other Dinobots, and was often antagonistic even towards Grimlock. Slug here has a lot of anger issues. At any rate, here we'll take a look at his accessories. Like many of the others, he only comes with one weapon and the armor. So we'll start with his weapon here. He comes with a tiny black gun. This one's sort of close in shape to the gun he used in the Generation 1 era. But of course, that one was also considerably smaller, and it was done up in chrome silver, so it really stood out. But it also stood out for its shape, since it also had the little scope on the top. Of course, this one also has a little foregrip, despite the fact that it's a little small to be of any use. And then, of course, we also have his prime armor. Much like all the others, you know, we got the little pieces here that move. This section folds out. That way, for a combiner, you can use it to make a hand, or just open it all up entirely, and it can attach to the foot pieces and grant a little more stability. Or, of course, it can also be used as body armor, as we just plug it in here into Slug's chest. And there we go. He's got some body armor going for him. And like all the others, it also has this removable trans-clear shield. So that way it's now open so that you can put a Prime Master in here. And according to the lore with these toys, if he has a Prime Master attached in here, he can gain some special powers. At any rate, let's take a look at his articulation. And Slug has less articulation than many of the other figures, namely in the fact that you cannot do anything with Slug's head. The head is static, so it will not turn or move at all. So pretty much, if he wants to look at somebody, he's got to go the Michael Keaton Batman look. He got to physically turn and look at them. You can raise his arm up to the side, about so far, and his arms do rotate all the way around at the shoulder. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees. And he does feature a swivel at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe's battle grip. Always a nice feature. You can twist him at his hips, so he has a few dance moves going for him. You can spread his legs apart, but unfortunately they only go apart about that far. He does have a thigh cut going for him. You can raise his leg up at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. So, all in all, he is considerably diminished on the articulation. Alright, let's take a look at how to transform him into his dinosaur form. First thing we got to do is we take the chest piece here, and we fold that up. Form the mouth of the dinosaur. Then, of course, once we've done that, we're going to separate the head from the chest a little bit. You only want us just to loosen it a bit. Then we're going to come down here to his hands, and you're going to fold them backward into his arms. Like so. And then move the arms upward a bit. Kind of bend him at the elbow just a little bit. So that it at least looks like he's got a little give in there. Now, once we've done that, we're going to turn him around to the back. You'll fold down the rear dinosaur legs. Like that. Of course, once we've done that, we'll reach inside his legs, and you're going to fold out the tail. Not only are you going to do that, but once you've gotten it up like that, we're going to fold it out to the sides, like so. And then rotate them so that the tail is pointing straight out at both sides. Once we've done that, we can bring the robot legs together. And then we're going to fold them over. And lock everything into place. This is where it gets a little tricky. Since the ball joint doesn't doesn't move very easily. There's the problem. Inside the legs, there's this extra bit of plastic, and it needs folded up. To give the leg a little more clearance. Or does it get folded down? It's hinged to the rear dinosaur leg, so it will interfere with that a bit. Let's try that and see if we can't... Nope, that's not the way. It's got to be up. Has to be up. Alright, try this. Alright, that's the way. Unfortunately, it doesn't hold together very well. Come on, stay together, legs. Alright, Alright. Once we've got it up like that, then we can fold the dinosaur tail into place and connect it. And just make another adjustment to the arms. And there we have it. Slug is in his Triceratops mode. The instructions also show to attach the prime armor, and that you can mount it up here on the top. Like that. But they don't give any mention of what to do with his gun. Well, like with many of the others, he does have a good-sized hole in his thighs, so we'll put the gun in there. And there we have an armored Triceratops. Either way you look at it, it still looks silly. Alright, now we'll get Slug ready here to be a part of Volcanicus. Canonically, he's an arm, so that's what we're going to go with. Alright, to get him ready to be an arm, get this backbone adjusted a little bit better. We start by taking the tail, and we're going to fold both sections underneath at once, just like that. Then now we're going to take the back legs. You'll keep them connected where they are at the thigh, just bend them at the knee backwards. Like that. And then, of course, we come up here to the front legs, and you're going to shift them to the side a bit, just so that they rest against the dinosaur body. Unfortunately, there's no holes to connect to the notches on the side of the body, so they just kind of hang there. Just kind of adjust the legs a bit at the knee, so it kind of looks like that the front legs are touching the thighs. That'll sort of work. Then we're going to come up here to the dinosaur head. We're going to pull it back and kind of rest the head like that. Then we come down here to the gray piece in his chest, and you're going to fold that up and keep it at an angle like that. Then now we come back down here to the dinosaur legs. Rotate the larger legs all the way around. So they're like that. The back feet will now touch the front feet. Kind of looks silly, but it works. Then once you've done that, take the tail, point it out like so. Then you're going to separate the tail and fold it to the sides like that. Because once we do that, we're going to fold out the legs. Try to keep them together. Reach in here, and they'll want us to fold down these pieces. Alright. If we can get the other one to move. There we go. Come on, keep moving. There we go. We got them set up. They'll want the legs kind of adjusted so that now they'll be facing downwards like that for the moment. Bring the tail up like so and don't reconnect it. Just bring it up like that and then fold it down. Then once it's folded down like that, we can rotate the legs so they're like this again. And then give him a twist at the hip so that he's facing like this. And there you have it. He's been built up as an arm. To complete the look, we'll take the prime armor here. Make sure the post here is pointing straight up. Fold these things in. And then fold this over. And it looks like a fist. I believe they show that he's the left arm, so he should look like that. And then we just plug in the hand. Turn it facing the right way and get the fingers back out. And then there we have it. So that way you can see we'll have elbow articulation. And a little bit of shoulder movement. This will look great when we get around to getting it assembled. So now we get around to my thoughts. What do I think of Slug? Well, Slug was my first Dinobot. Well, actually, it was the only Dinobot I had as a child growing up. So I'm a bit partial to him. This one's a little bit better than the original, only in the sense that they went a little better with some of the pieces. The original one, the trans gold pieces, always looked kind of odd to me. But of course, mine also has seen a lot more adventures than what this one has. So I guess I should give it a small pass on that. That and also that this time around, this one's built to be a combiner piece. So I guess for what it is, it works out pretty well. But of course, the next time we see Slug, he'll be forming a different area on Volcanicus. Because on the little one that's coming out this year, instead of being an arm, he gets upgraded to being the upper torso. Go from an arm to being head and shoulders. And we're not talking shampoos here. At any rate, that's my review of the Power of the Primes version of Slug. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you like the content we feature here on this channel, please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701, reminding y'all to have some fun tonight and celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Don't go too overboard, and we'll catch you all later.